Yeah, what's going on with y'all boys, man? CJ back with another video. So if y'all checked out my live recently, I was in here living for about 4 hours looking at the 6'6" and the 6'7" undersized builds. I was going through 6'6" to 6'7" to 6'8", and man, let me tell you, I found something crazy. Now my last video, that build was good, it looked good, but the one today is completely different. So I'm gonna just go ahead and create the build from scratch and just explain everything to you. All right, so the first thing you're gonna do is power forward. You're gonna go for power forward 6'6", max out your wingspan, and then you're gonna go ahead and max out the weight so you get the rebound to 92. Now look, I'm gonna start from top to bottom and I'm gonna break it all down. Now that 6'6" build y'all saw, it had no finishing. You couldn't finish, you could shoot, but you ain't have no finishing. You couldn't dribble the ball, you could play defense, but man, what I found today is really crazy. So look, we're gonna start like this build. It does everything, and the stuff that it can do is actually wow. We're gonna start with the close shot. Let's just go to the important stuff first, right? We'll start down here. So your perimeter defense, you're gonna go to an 85. Now the 85, it works good. I have a build with an 85 perimeter. Actually, the build that I have right now is not even at an 85 yet. It's at like an 83, and the 83 is fine. So you could work with the 85 if you want to. You can go higher on the perimeter defense. I'll maybe show y'all like, yeah, I'll show y'all a little bit later in the video how you can get to like what you can change around, how you can get to higher perimeter defense, things like that. So you want to go with the 85, go down to your block, max this out, max out. I'm going to explain why. I'm going to explain why I did everything I do here. So the block, you want to go with 80. And let me tell you something too, bro. This build right here, it gets like 30 something. I think like 31 or 32 takeovers. You're allowed to get 31 to 32, which is actually insane. So you see right here, all these takeovers, you're able to get 32 of these takeovers, which is actually wild. So you're going to come up to your interior defense. Next, we're going to go to the interior defense and bring that up to an 88. So we're going to get the post lockdown on gold. Come down to your defensive rebound. We're going to max that out. The speed, we're going to bring this up to an 80. Drop that down one. Your agility, we're going to bring that to a 78. And then your strength, we're going to go 91. Now keep in mind too, this build is a power forward. You're going to play the 4. It can play center, but it works better at the 4. And trust me, bro, this build is going to be insane. So you go with the 91 strength. Now I was here for hours going through so many different builds, just different ways to make this build, and this is the best one that I found so far. Now trust me, I wanted the high strength, I wanted the 95 strength. There's things that I had to sacrifice. You just have to do that with builds like this. So I went ahead and sacrificed some of the strength. I dropped that down to a 91. The vertical, again, y'all know I love my vertical, but for the attributes that you're about to get on this build, I had to go to a 78. You're just gonna see like the attributes on this build is really crazy. So we're gonna come to the ball control here. We're gonna bring this to a 75. Your speed with ball, same thing, 75. Your pass act is going to be a 71. So I know that looks slow, but I've been playing with a 75. 75 works really well, so I'm assuming 71 will do the same thing. Go ahead, go 71. Your 3, max it out. Your midi, you get to an 80. And just wait, like I know this build so far is looking pretty good. You know, it kind of does everything, but it just gets crazier. Like this build just, it does so much. So next, you drive and dunk. You get contact dunks on this build. So you're gonna get all the pro contact dunks with the 89. Your driving layup's gonna be a 70, which is just enough to get the Zion layup package, but I don't know how good it is. But the 70, you unlock a new badge. Then we're gonna come down to a driving dunk, standing dunk. Look at this, max that out. You got a 90 standing dunk on this build. And we're not done there. We're gonna go ahead and bring the post control up. The post control gets up to an 85. Just look at the badges you're getting. The badges on this build is crazy. Then next, we're gonna go ahead and bring up the offensive rebound to a 71. And then you can go ahead and bring your free throw up. So now let's just break everything down, right? So look at this. So I was just go ahead and watch the stream. You can see how I put these builds together. First, it started off with no standing dunk. I had no standing dunk. I had a driving dunk. I was like, you know, 6'6" with a driving dunk would be nice. And I had a steal. Now what I had to do was sacrifice my steal. And you know, just through experience with the game and how I've played in the past, I was like, I can go without a steal. So I went and dropped my steal down. I played with the 85. I was like, I could work with 85 too. I like the 85. And if I want to, I can use the cap breaker to boost that to the 90. So 85 perimeter defense is good for me. Now the 80 block, you might be looking and being like, bro, you don't get nothing for that. Reason why I went with the 80 is because look at this, right? These are all the badges we have. You bring that down one, we're losing takeovers. You bring it to an 80, you get takeover. It's just a few like this right here too. You bring this down to a 79, you get nothing for it. You bring it up to an 80, look, you get a new badge at an 80 mid-range, and you unlock midi maestro, which gives you plus 15 at level 5 to your mid-range. So this build, it just so many different scoring aspects. You can catch bodies, you get standing dunks, you could post up, post fade, post spin, drop step, all that. You can play like a big. You can shoot threes, you could dribble. So this build, it does so much. It's actually crazy. And then look at this too. The 83 mid-range, you get limitless on bronze. You got some pretty good shooting badges there. And like I said, you know, the 80 mid-range, you get post-fade phenom on gold. Now, it would have been nice to get one more on this. So that if you got the post control to 86, you unlock this at silver. We couldn't do that. But this right here, this is ultimately what I came to in this build. This is like, it's almost like my dream build, because remember, we get cap breakers, so if I did want to upgrade some things, I can. Like the strength, if I need the 95, I can get that. Or if I wanted to have 90 perimeter defense or something, I can get that. Or let's say, what else? Let's say I wanted this on Hall of Fame, I can still get that. Or not the off-ball pass, but if I want to post lockdown Hall of Fame, I can get that too. If I wanted to upgrade my pass, I can use the cap. So it's like any of the things that I felt like I need to go higher on, I still have the opportunity with the cap breaker. So this is what I'm running right here. It's like the final build that I went with, and like I really think this is going to be one of my best undersized builds, maybe one of the best ones yet, because like I said, we're gonna just go through it one more time just so you can understand, right? So you're 6'6", you're a power forward, so you're not going to be playing center, and even if you do get matched up against the center, you might be able to hold your own. But even if you're not, you're a power forward, and most of the time the power forward is usually just a small forward or like a tall guard playing the 4, or just like a small forward. So at most you might get matched up against like one of them stretch big builds, but you can contest those shots. You got perimeter defense, you'll be able to contest, you'll still be able to dribble, you got high strength, you're gonna stonewall them. They can't get by you with all that strength. You could post them up, post spin, contact dunks. Like this build just really does it all, like literally does it all. Now one thing too, let's say you wanted Devin Booker's dribble style, because right now you get Zion's dribble style, and the dribble style on Zion is nice. I like it. That it gives like a quick cross launch when you have Zion's dribble style, so that's what I went with. But if you wanted something different, you could bring this down to a 65, because you see once you go 64 you lose a badge. Then you go 65, you can bring that up to an 80 and you get Devin Booker's dribble package. But if you don't want that, like me, I don't, it's nice to have, I don't want it, so I'm just gonna go with the 75 ball control and 75 speed with ball, and the 71 pass act. It also gives me a badge, it gives me diamond on silver, and I get, I think, like Paolo's pass package or something like that. So this is ultimately what I came up with. Now you can go watch my live, skip through it or whatever. I have a whole bunch of different builds on there, from like 6'6" to 6'7" to 6'8". I'll go through some of them on here too, but this is ultimately the one that I came up with, the one that I like the most. Like this build right here is kind of like a post scoring Zion build. And again, like if you wanted to change anything, if it's something you don't like about this build, you can change. So I'll go through that right now, right? One thing, you could drop down the pass act, you could bring it to 65, it might work. I think the 71 is nice. If you don't care about post scoring, you could take the midi down, but again, the reason why I went with that midi is because it gives you takeovers, it adds takeovers. So just remember, you have, with this build right here, you have like 31 takeovers you can use, 31 different takeovers. That's insane. If you wanted to drop the midi down, you can go ahead and drop that down and keep the 3, or if the 3 is too high, you don't really care about having the bronze limitless, drop that down to a 78. So those are some things you could drop down there, but me, I'm not doing that. I want the 80. And then same thing with post control, I went with the 85 so I can get post powerhouse, so I could do post spins, all that. If you don't want that, you can go ahead and drop that down some too, and just really just move things however you want. But just mess around with the builder like I did, and just find something that works for you. But this one right here this is my favorite one out of all the ones that I've come across. Is my favorite one so far. Also, I'm going to show you another one too real quick. So this is a different one that I had. This one has no standard dunk. It's got about the same defense, more strength. So this is just a little, I don't think this one's better. It doesn't do too much more. Actually, it doesn't really do anything more than the other build. It just has higher defense. So if you're like really worried about your interior defense and guarding the big, you can run something like this. You got Hall of Fame post lockdown, you got a 78 block, 92 rebound, the 95 strength, but that's really the only difference, is the interior defense and the 95 strength and the 89 perimeter defense. But me personally, that other 6'6" that I showed you, that first one, that's the best one. And then if you wanted the build to be taller, you could run something like this. This is a 6'7" version, 96 rebounds, so it's like another cool little version of the build. Now I'm gonna show you one more at 6'9". All right, so I know I said 6'9", but I meant 6'8". So here's another version at 6'8". You got no finishing, you could shoot, pass the ball, play perimeter defense, you can guard the paint too, 93 block. That 93 block is actually crazy. You got 83 vertical. Now the thing that's so special about the 6'6" is it gets way more attribute points than the 6'7" and the 6'8", anything taller. So that's why I went with the 6'6", because it just, you're allowed to do so much more with the 6'6". So once again, coming back to it, you just get so much more attribute points. You're just more versatile. This is something I would run with right here. This is definitely a good build. And then we're gonna go ahead and continue to show you the animations that you get, things like that. They're gonna compare you to Larry Johnson, Pascal, and Aaron Gordon. And then the build name is a 2-way 3-level scoring threat. Let's go ahead and test the build. All right, so these are just some quick sigs I threw on. But I do want to show you the Zion dribble style. It's got a nice little quick cross. The layups, you can get Zion's layup package. There's not really too much going on here. And then for your dunk packages, you get all the pro contact dunks. You get pro contact dunks off 2 and off 1. You also get a lot of standard dunks. You get all the athletic ones, all the rim pulls, all the regular standard dunks. And for your dunk packages, you can get Giannis, Anthony Edwards. Ben Simmons is a good one, especially for the standard dunks. I'll let y'all see that right there. Get some pretty good standard standard dunks for the Ben Simmons dunk package. All right, so we're just gonna go ahead and jump into the freestyle and just show you the dribbling real quick. Now this is what I'm talking about with the Zion dribble package. You hit that real quick and it's a quick little cross. So I like that right there. You dribble a little bit, kind of got a little speed boost in you, and just, man, you're gonna be catching bodies. You got standing dunks. Look, you hit a standing dunk real quick. You could hit post fades. It's probably about to be an ugly post fade. It's all basic, but hit post fades too. You can do so much with this build. Shoot threes. You got so many different takeovers. That's one more thing I'm gonna show y'all real quick too, is all the different takeovers you can get. All right, so looking at all the takeovers, again, you got 30 something. It's like 31 different takeovers to choose from. And I heard the Xanos one I heard this was super overpowered. So you get Xanos, you get the Stilt, 3 and D, the Commander. Here's just look through them real quick. You get all these different takeovers right here. Barbecue chicken. Like, you get a takeover for literally everything. You got takeovers for paint protecting. You got a takeover for shooting threes. You got a takeover for shooting middies. You got a takeover for posting up, for post scoring. The only one you can't get is probably playmaking, but you can get one for shooting, finishing, posting up, dunks, interior defense, perimeter defense. It's just so many different takeovers to choose from. Once again, here's all the takeovers, and that's it. Thank y'all for watching. That's the end of the video, and don't forget to like and subscribe.